and your job.
Welcome. Episode 13, UndR Podcast. Our special guest today is the one and only Mr. Cornell Sims.
What's
Thank
up?
you, brother,
What's
for
up,
doing this.
Bo, huh? Anytime, man. I appreciate you inviting me.
Yes, sir. Would you mind introducing yourself just so that people can
All
get
right.
to know you a little better?
All right. Well, my name is Cornell Sims, CEO of stands for First Love. Also, I have a nonprofit organization called CUT, which stands for Coming Up Together. We go out, feed the homeless, provide materials, stuff like that for families in need. We've slowed down a little bit with it, but hopefully now, since my schedule kind of freed up a little bit, I can start back doing that and being a lot more active with it.
So, coming up together, you said?
Yes, sir.
Elaborate a little bit on that, if you don't mind. Where did you come up with that? Why? I know you're helping the homeless, but how did that all come together?
Right. So it started off because probably about 4 or 5 years ago, me and one of my homeboys was trying to figure out a way, how can we impact the community? How can we make a change? And one of the things we thought about doing is actually going downtown, feeding the homeless. So it started off with me, him, and my son. We made about 100 sandwiches, put them in bags with fruits and chips and water. And we went down to the homeless and pretty much we passed bags out of the trunk of our car.
Wow.
So then that was every week. Then it became a monthly thing. We started having barbers come down there. We started having other people volunteering. So it ended up being between 15 to 20 volunteers each time.
Wow.
Well, they kind of disperse homeless people now, so it's hard to find homeless people in the large gathering like it used to. So we kind of stopped that. Now we're starting to get merchandise from Walmart, anywhere from air fryers, bikes. Just last November, we did our first annual toy drive. We did that out in Snellville. We ended up helping about 25 families with toys. They didn't have Christmas trees, donating Christmas trees and stuff like that. Even the adults end up getting something out of it too. So we're trying to do that annually as far as the toy drive. So we want to have our second annual toy drive this November. And hopefully, get more volunteers. We definitely already have a lot more toys than what we had last year. So, but mainly just started back, man. We started pretty much by trying to impact our community in some kind of way. And I know it's a lot of people doing it. We want it to be a little different with ours by having like barbers and all that stuff come out. We've also partnered with Doing Good in the Hood. They're based out of Georgia. They also started down there Fort Lauderdale. So we have been donating, I think about 10 microwaves to Doing Good in the Hood, as well as fans. What they call those little, with the two wheels on them, not segways, but hoverboards, I think that's what they call them. So we donated some hoverboards. Just a lot of things that we're active to. Now we're more so about helping other organizations, since that's the easiest thing for us to do because of time.
Okay.
Great.
That's great. That's a lot of great stuff, man. I didn't know.
Appreciate it.
I know about your clothing brand, but I didn't know you were doing that. That's a lot of giving back to the community, man. So
yeah, man. And honestly, bro, I always tell people, if you want to help, I'd rather you help with your time than help with money or help with donating merchandise, because you appreciate it more and you understand the value of you actually going out there and volunteering your time and actually being active, because you get to hear these people's stories. You get to see how your involvement actually impacts these people and how they are appreciative of it. So, and I always try to make it a point too, hey man, bring your kids. If we have an event that it can help, like bring your kids, man. And every time we try to do it, I involve my son. And, he's been doing it since he was 14, 15 years old. So he's 20, 21 now. So
That's what's up. I wanted you to also, not to dive off a little bit. I see you got the fly shirt on.
oh yeah.
You
Oh
have
yeah.
talked about
Fly.
that a little bit. I got your
Okay.
logo here, the shirt I'm wearing. Um,
Yes,
I
sir.
remember when you first told me that story, I thought about it for a while and I was like, man, that's a powerful message. So could you elaborate on what fly means to you and what it stands for, how you came up with it?
Well, I came up with it because I seen a meme back in the day. It said fly and it said first love yourself. And, I've always, for the longest, I've been pushing positivity.
Hmm.
So I started Fly Clothing because I used to always spend my money with another organization. It's called Positive Gear. It's black owned in Sugarloaf Mills. I hope you don't mind me shouting it out to them.
No.
But it's a black owned clothing company in Sugarloaf Mills called Positive Gear. I used to go there and get all my shirts made. Whenever I have a positive quote that I want to put on a shirt and express to people, I used to go there. So one day, one of my homeboys like, man, you should just start making the shirts yourself, which that crossed my mind before, but I never really took that idea serious. And once she said that to me, I said, I'm just gonna check and see how much it costs for me to get this started. And probably about a month and a half later, I went ahead and bought everything that I needed, started making shirts myself. But the main thing is for me was pretty much spreading positivity, putting positive quotes on things like "First love yourself." Fly stands for first love yourself. I'm big on that. You can't love somebody else if you ain't loving yourself. You got to love yourself first, so that way you be able to spread that love to others. But if you don't like and you ain't loving yourself, then you can't give that same energy to somebody else. Um, but so
Big
it
facts.
all started, yeah. So it all started pretty much for me to be able to another avenue for me to be able to spread positivity. You know what I'm saying? So I started doing that and I started really making the shirts for myself. Then I was sharing with other people. I can't tell you how many times I had a shirt on and I'm out and about and somebody walked up to me and said, man, you just don't know um, how much I needed to read that shirt or see that shirt because I needed to see that today.
Hmm.
And that's my whole objective of actually making my positivity shirts.
That's awesome, man. It seems like you're really Atlanta based, and you all about Atlanta. That's where you grew up at, I'm assuming. But before we jump into the sports, if you could go back, just last question. If you could go back and give your younger self some advice, what would it be?
The biggest thing I struggle with now and financing, um, learning credit, learning how you can utilize credit to your advantage, learning ways of having money make money for you. Um, growing um, how we can utilize money in our advantage. We're always shown spend, saving, about investing, what about the stock market? Now you got cryptocurrency. What about all of that you have access to, but we never taught that growing up. So if I could in my old self, I would go back and I would try to take the time out to learn more about actual money and the difference between being rich and being wealthy.
Hmm.
So
I agree with all of that.
Yes, sir, man. You can't ever know too much about stocks and making money for yourself, but it's crazy because they don't really teach you any of that growing up. It's kind of like you're blindsided by the time you're an adult and you're finding.
They don't really teach anybody, but they
right,
definitely
but
teach
that's the stuff that they should be teaching you in school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They should have mandatory classes about that. But again, they don't want us to know that information. You know what I'm
Not at
saying?
all.
They want us to be dependent on them. They don't want us to have our own mind. They don't want us to have our own money, our own economy. So they try so hard to discourage us from learning that part of life. And once we do, what they do, they try to make it hard on you to do it. You know, just like they raise the taxes for capital gains. And what have a lot of Black folks has been doing since COVID pretty much hit? We've been learning more about investment, learning more about stock. And now I feel like there's just another way of them discouraging us from wanting to invest because we don't want to be paying the capital gains taxes. You see what I'm saying? So it's just, I just know that now, I just had he's 4 months now in Bolahan. But I know for me wanting to know the information now, I can teach my son that. And even my son that's 21 now, I still get on him about investing, about savings, about, he works for a moving company. He's been talking about he wants to start his own moving company. All right, well, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
All
But
of that.
speaking of being schooled, man, what's up with the Atlanta Hawks, man? How come they keep getting schooled?
I mean, we need more than just Trey. We need more than just Trey Young, man. And I'm, in a way, I'm kind of happy Miami played us the way they played us because I think that's going to force the issue.
He's a Miami fan, by the way.
But I think it's going to force the issue for the Hawks to go out and get somebody else other than Trey. It's going to force them to have to make some moves. Just like they traded Cam Reddish for a first round pick. We don't need another first round pick. So once they can figure that out, and once we can get in, some superstars. I've been hearing Donovan Mitchell name. I've been hearing Bradley Beal. I hope and pray that I've been hearing Rudy Gobert, but I don't want him. I feel like we already got a Rudy on our team already in Capella. So, but we need to go get somebody who can actually get buckets, man.
I agree. I do feel that kind of playing us exposed the fact that, that ability to pick up switches and stuff like that, and people being able to create their own shot. And you got hitters, you got Gallinari, Bogdanovich, Trey Young can obviously hit, but if they not hitting, it's a rough series, and that's exactly what happened. So I agree. But I feel like it's Trey's team. I feel like he's embraced his role well. So I feel like he does need a partner, but I don't feel like it needs to be like anybody like Donovan Mitchell. He could have a team himself. You know what I mean?
But that's what he needs. Because, I put like this. We got Kevin Huerter, right, who's a shooter. He can create his own shot, but he ain't consistent, right?
Yeah.
You got DeAndre Hunter. He's still in development mode, I guess you can say, and he's injury prone. Then you got Bogdanovich, who he can score, but again, he's not consistent. So you already have a bunch of role players on your team, but you show me a NBA team that does not have a 1-2 punch. There's as far as a championship caliber team anyway. Almost every championship caliber team has a 1-2 punch. You know what I'm saying? Milwaukee got Giannis and Middleton, and now they got what's the point guard name? Holiday. Yeah. So Philly now they got Harden, which Harden I don't know what to say about that. But all these teams as contenders they have a 1-2 punch, and right now we just got a 1 punch.
Yeah.
So
I do agree that y'all should have kept Cam Reddish.
I think Cam Reddish would have helped us in that Miami series. Yeah. One, because he's a good defender, and two, he's long. So, and it's two things that the Hawks always struggle with. One is good defensive teams, and two, rebounding.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
I don't think you guys will make it out the first round next year, though. But I'll keep that to myself.
Nah. The Hawk, I put like this, man. The owner, he's already said the luxury tax don't scare him. So I think he got a little taste of success. He see the type of money that he can make just by making the playoffs and extending the season. He's wanting to spend the money now because he knows that once Trey Young's
Trey Young's worth it. He's worth forking out more money.
Right. Yeah. So once Trey Young's contract is up, the last thing he wants is for Trey Young to walk away. So he wants to put a winning team around Trey Young that will make him want to stay in Atlanta. So first round next year, I don't see that unless we unless they don't make no moves and they go into next year with the same team, then yeah, I can see us losing in the first round, depending on who we play. If it's Milwaukee, Miami, yeah, we losing in the first round. Any other teams?
I feel like y'all need that type of dog, that underdog. You know, I'm thinking like, who do I look on your team? That PJ Tucker type player.
Right.
That, Butler type player that'll go out and shut down, the defense and be like, nah, give me that Draymond Green type play.
And honestly, even if we got a player like that, because you feed off of players like that, you feed off their energy, like PJ Tucker, Butler, Marcus Smart, like that is the heart of their team. Yeah, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown is the star players on their team, but Marcus Smart is the heart of that team. Draymond Green is the heart of Golden State.
Yeah,
there is no Golden State without Draymond Green, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He does all the stuff that the other players don't want to do. So if we can get somebody like that.
Gary Payton in a second, but we'll touch on that a little bit. I could argue that.
What, Gary Payton, what?
The second.
What?
The glove? Yeah, what? Gary Payton the second, man.
No.
But before we go off on a tangent, with that said, who is your underdog? If you had to name one player.
That is an underdog?
Yeah. Whether it's Atlanta Hawks, whether it's somebody you've been seeing in the playoffs, somebody you feel is not getting enough recognition but does all the dirty work.
Well, I'm just gonna go with right now the guy that's in the playoffs, and that's Bobby Portis.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick to the teams that's in the playoffs right now.
Okay.
I'll probably say Bobby Portis.
I can see that.
Bobby.
Yeah. He killed us last year. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the reasons why we only won one game against Milwaukee last year.
Yeah.
He was playing defense. He hustles. He goes out to loose balls. He rebounds. He can shoot. He can post up. You know what I'm saying? He can do everything that you want in a player. He can do.
And he can fight.
What'd you say, Drew?
Said he could fight too. He be ready to fight. Bobby Portis always in the
he do. I used to love him on Chicago, man. I was mad when they traded him. Like, what y'all doing?
Yeah, and see that, and again, if Atlanta had a player like that, then maybe we might not need a second go-to scorer. You know what I'm saying? Because just the energy that he brings, man, he's gonna uplift everybody else around you because they're gonna want to play with that same type of energy.
Yes,
you really do just need one player because you got Capella, you got John Collins, you got Gallinari, you got Bogdanovich, you got Herter, you got, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really do just need like one.
But you know what, man? Capella.
He was hurt too. You know what I'm saying?
But he just doesn't play tough enough for me.
He doesn't play angry enough. That's
he does. He plays soft.
He just go out there, he do his little dogs, Once in a while you see him get mad. But he don't get mad enough,
Right. And
like you look at Bobby, like he looked like somebody stole his lunch every day. You know what I'm saying? He just got that look to him, like, don't mess with me, man.
Yeah, and that's the Hawks' problem, bro. They got a bunch of soft players. They don't got nobody that got no heart.
Yeah.
So.
But with that said,
can't do it by himself.
Say that again, Drew.
I said Trey can't do it by himself. So
yeah,
you're right.
Even though he be shooting from the suburbs.
Well, let me ask y'all this question. I guess we can go to your next topic. Do you think the Hawks made a mistake by trading Luka for Trey?
Oh yeah. Because I watch how Luka's playing, how he commands the offense, how effortless it is. How he be posting? Who was he posting up? He was posting up Chris Paul the other night.
He posted everybody that's on Phoenix.
I'm just like, damn, this dude, he may not be there all the way yet, but he is the future of the NBA.
I think he's not the future right now, but I think he's already there. He just got to wait for the people that's above him to just move out the way.
Yeah.
But I think Luka's there.
Though he's cocky too, man. Like,
yeah. And the crazy part about it, he's not the fastest. He doesn't jump the highest, but somehow, some way he gets it done.
You're right. And he always slows his game down too. He speeds it up when he wants to, slows his game down, let the defense walk past him, and he'll just lay it up real quick. So
do you think if Luka was on the Hawks team this year, they would have beat Miami?
Oh.
He answered that quick, didn't he?
No, but what I will say is this: for the record,
Y'all there?
get third, only had 2 assists. Sadly,
Yeah, I'm
it
here.
froze up a little bit, but I do agree that they probably would have played better. They definitely would have, you know what I mean? But it's like I said, when they had Clint Capella, that's when it did get interesting. You know what I'm saying? They did elaborate. So it really is just like they just need that score. But no, I think they would have played better. But I feel like it's
But
the
you
same
wouldn't have been able to
situation.
play Luke. You wouldn't have been able to play Luka the same way, in my opinion.
They'd have to hit the shots, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'd still be they'd be dependent on those threes from all those role players. So it's kind of the same situation. They do need somebody else that they can just, we need a bucket right now.
Yeah.
Because Trey was getting so lost on the switch. There was one play we did like a triple switch on him. He was just like, he was so frustrated, just gave
But
the ball up.
it looked like to me Trey gave up on the series, period. In my opinion. You watch his demeanor, his energy. It wasn't the same like it was the first, like what game was that when he scored like 30 something points? I forgot what it was. It might have been game 3.
It was
when they won.
earlier.
Yeah. And it's just his energy, man. To me, he just gave off the energy like I'm just giving up, waiting till next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as a competitor, I know that feeling, but at the same time, like I don't know. There's got to be some do or die.
I wouldn't mind getting Zion though from New Orleans. He want to come to Atlanta.
If he could stay healthy.
That's crazy.
Honestly, bro, I don't feel like he was hurt this year. In the beginning of the year, but I think as the year went on, I think the Pelicans were just holding him out. I think that was more so the
New Orleans, man.
Huh?
I said he was eating that good food in New Orleans.
Yeah, but it don't take all season for you to lose weight.
Right.
Then look at the film that he was putting out towards the end of the year. He was trying to let people know, look, I want to play. I'm ready to play. They ain't letting me play.
Yeah, he did have his shoes on. He had them Jordans on. So.
Yeah. So he out there dunking, windmills. He was looking like Zion to me.
But I think that it is a smart thing, though, once you get into the swing of things and the CJ McCollum trade and the Valanciunas stuff, it played out. You got to let that play out because at the end of the day, if you do push him off, you don't want to mess up what you got, and especially with the way that Brandon Ingram has developed. I'm also a Pelicans fan, by the way. So I think, and then they signed Jose Alvarado, so they're gonna keep Herbert Jones. They're gonna keep all them the young and keep that going. So I felt like they was trying to solidify the team just in case he don't want to come back, because bringing back a role player or something, bringing back a dude who's supposed to get the max in the middle of a playoff run is not. You know what I'm saying? That's not who you bring in.
That's why they didn't play Ben Simmons either. But yeah, it's not smart.
Well, I wouldn't play Ben Simmons for a number of reasons. But Zion, it's like I said, if you do extend him to the max, I don't know, you do want him to be in his best condition. So I don't know.
I feel like this. Y'all don't want him no more. We'll take him in a heartbeat. And I take Ben Simmons too, bro.
So. You take them all, bro.
Yeah, because
it just was somebody.
Well, Ben is going to give us that guy that can lock down and play defense. He can play all 5 positions. Well, that's the thing I love about Ben, and he rebounds. He can create his own shot. Can he shoot? No, but we don't need him for that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, he did actually get back surgery though. He got back surgery apparently. So apparently it really was an issue.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't assume people get placebo back surgeries.
Yeah.
So at least he really was hurt, so that people can stop, judging him at least.
Yeah. So I mean, if that is the case, then he, okay, he makes up for tomorrow. He can't play because his back's still sore. So
because at first I was like, bro, you tripping. And then just by the outfit choice, sometimes they outfit screams like, I'm just here for the check. So like, so sometimes it might have just been outfit choice. But Yeah, at least it is, something like that. But I guess that'll lead us into Maverick Suns. Do we think that the Mavs have a shot of
Against the
winning this series?
Suns,
Yeah,
Well,
not
they down
no.
3-2.
They down 3-2. No.
Nah,
just got 30 ball. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's dead too.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think Phoenix gonna come
that's
out.
over, man.
I think Phoenix gonna come out the next game and go ahead and finish that off.
Mm-hmm.
So
If it couldn't be the Pelicans, it could be Chris Paul. So, and I kind of want him to just get that, over with. I didn't really need to see Giannis put up a 50 piece in 4 straight to know that he's the best player in the league, but he definitely established that last year. So we'll see how it go. But yeah, Chris Paul, I'll root for him, man. It's Chris Paul.
I mean, I hope
Make it out the West, but you can root for him all you want. It's not
I
happening.
don't know. It's a toss up, bro. Like whoever's in the West left in the West now, it's anybody's game. Who's left in the West right now?
I picked my final 4 picks, and I'm about to be right. I just want to say that too, Bowler.
Okay, bro. All right, I give it to you.
When this first started, I said the best teams is gonna make it, and we gonna see.
Yes. Do you think it's gonna be Phoenix versus Miami?
I said it was gonna be Phoenix, Golden State, Miami, and the Bucks. Well, actually, no, I said the Celtics. So I'm actually down in 1. And 1 is not looking so
good. Did the Celtics lose?
But I believe in the Celtics. Yeah, they lost.
The Celtics lost?
Damn.
Yeah, they lost right before we started. Crazy. It was a crazy ending too.
So now they got to go back to Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, they're not coming back to Boston, bro. I try to tell you that.
Yeah. It's a wrap, bro.
No, I need that. I want to be right.
And just think, Milwaukee beat Boston without Middleton.
Yeah, they sure did.
And at that time, Boston was playing like the best team in the NBA.
Yeah, after the way they shut out KD.
Yeah.
And Kyrie.
Yeah.
But everybody
the whole league since the first of the year, they've been killing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but I think it's gonna be Miami, Milwaukee, Golden State versus Phoenix.
It's fine. We got unfinished business with Giannis anyway. So running back.
Well, speaking of Phoenix, though, man, did y'all hear what happened with Chris Paul and his family?
Bruh.
Harassed at the game. They said a fan, I think it was a kid, 18-year-old, put his hands on Chris Paul's mom, pushed her, and pushed his wife all in front of his kids.
Well, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Right. So if you got family and friends coming to games, there should be the NBA should have designated areas that family and friends hit. Whereas only family and friends, you ain't gonna be in the mix of fans for stuff like that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody knows, like if somebody do their homework and they know that this is Chris Paul's mom or wife, or whoever, they're gonna end up being pretty much a target, which it sounds like that's what happened.
Yeah.
Even if it's just for positive attention, they a target for attention.
Right.
So it can, and then you already know how crowd attention can turn positive to negative real quick. If anybody been in the club, you already know it could be real positive and it flips. So
right.
The part that kills me is they acknowledge the Mavericks ownership acknowledged that the incident happened, but their response is the fan was removed.
Well, they said they suspended them till the 2023 season, which is next year, pretty much.
That don't do nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't. So there might be 2 games that they miss, and they coming back next year. So but that's not a big enough statement. But even if they talking about they suspended him, suspended them, how do they know if these fans come back next year or not, or even come back the next game? You know what I'm saying? Like,
they homie could buy a ticket.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really mean anything to me. So, but I do think that they need to make it a little harder for fans to have access to family members and friends that are guests of the players.
Yeah, it's definitely a safety issue. Like even if it's not an attention point of interest on the floor, like doing security, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If DJ Khaled's sitting over here, people gonna be looking over here. So it's just like, there has to be something because ever since high school, man, I was sitting there typing a paper for class, happened to look to the left and saw the Malice at the Palace, one of the craziest nights in the history of basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Yeah.
like from that, if we haven't learned, we don't need no other reference. Just put on the Malice at the Palace and be like, look, if somebody hugged my mama, this could happen. Tell the dude not to, you know what I'm saying? Tell him to keep his hands off my mama. And I don't have to Jermaine O'Neal him. You know what I'm saying? So, because it's like, it does get to a point where it is like, bro, this is just a job. Like if I was, you know what I'm saying, working my job and my mom was there, somebody was like, oh, that's church mama? Oh, what's up? You know what I'm saying? No, man, cut all that out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so would Chris Paul, say for instance, Chris Paul noticed the harassment or the, because then they said the fan pushed the mom or the wife. So if Chris
apparently
Paul
he was
would
trying to
notice
hug
this,
the mama, and then when they reacted, like get off moms, he apparently reacted back, and there was some like, you know, hand checking and pushing, and I'm just like,
okay. Yeah. So if Chris Paul would have noticed this and went over there and I guess not even say retaliated, but intervened, then you think Chris Paul would have been wrong?
Nah, but they would have suspended
the NBA would.
Yeah.
But he was good. He was like, he was telling the people, you know what I'm saying? He was getting security on him. He knew.
Okay. Yeah, so, because to me, because if he would have did that, I wouldn't have looked at Chris Paul any kind of way.
No kind of way.
So the man trying to protect his family. Huh?
Especially on Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
That's when it happened.
Oh, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Chris Paul, brownie points to him. He better than me.
Yeah, he would have been better than me too, because I've probably been over there fighting.
Bro, I'm in State Farm commercials. Like, dog, I'm in State. I'd be like, Bowler, name the wrestling move. And I would, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. You lost your mind.
Speaking of better than, what y'all think about Jokic winning the MVP over Embiid, man?
It's the analytics era.
Yeah, Embiid got screwed.
It's the analytics era.
He did, man.
Yeah, Embiid got screwed. He pretty much carried that Philly team, man.
They said it. They said Jokic, that's the first thing I seen. Nikola Jokic, MVP, highest PER score in the history of the league. It's an analytic.
I was disappointed in Embiid though, man, because I felt like after he found out the news, he should have came out and played angry as hell and got that W against Miami. But he scored 6 points, man. Took 12 shots.
But then he get hit home. Is this the last game, right?
Yeah, the last game.
Yeah, well, you know that man.
I ain't trying to hear that, man.
I think once he got hit in the face, bro, I think that messed his whole game up.
Nah, man.
He felt that pain again.
You that big, you out there, and they just said you weren't as good.
They got 35 ball.
Well, that's unacceptable, especially the game before that. Didn't they blow them out the game before that?
I don't know if they did.
They beat us by 20. They beat us by 20, but it was our worst shooting game in all season. It was our worst shooting game.
Why y'all couldn't have several of those against the Hawks?
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Duncan. Hey, I was at game 1 in Miami, bro. Duncan was unstoppable. He was pulling up on everybody.
And now he don't even get no playing time.
Yeah,
we was talking about that. I understand less minutes because he can't play D, but no minutes? That don't even make no sense. But he did play 14 minutes in the last game. Got 3 or 4 shots up. He is a defensive liability, but he's an offensive asset.
Well, so I hope he did if y'all was up by 35 points.
Look, man. Circumstances, I go straight off box score. I don't try to, because I got my least favorite player on the team is Eric Spoelstra as a Heat fan, because I feel like he doesn't make some of these adjustments that I'd really like to see.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about when Chris Bosh had blood clots and we picked up Amari Stoudemire and then played him 0 minutes. I don't know why we picked him up. But like I said, I got a little side beef with Spo, but that's another episode. Well, shooters need to shoot.
Well, that's the reason why Duncan ain't playing, because he made adjustments.
He needed to make a different adjustment, because when we got 20 balled, I'm like, I'm not feeling.
I mean, they said Duncan's got the highest field goal percentage in 3-pointers. I think that's what they said in the league.
Well, we finally play like a team. We have 7 guys in double digits. So anytime that happens, how can you lose?
See.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's
Jimmy
true.
Butler had 23, 9, and 6. It was a typical Heat game. we are a better overall team, and it just showed in this game. Hopefully, it shows one more time on Friday night. Oh, no, Thursday night.
They playing in Philly though. Y'all
Ah,
going game 7.
no, Jimmy gonna show them why they should have
No,
conformed.
Embiid gonna show y'all. Like y'all hit me in my face one more time.
He might go air up there and hit the Naftalanja and take off. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully he don't. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we go to these East Conference Finals.
Yeah, well, y'all gonna do it in 7, not 6. So I ain't gonna say y'all not gonna win. I do think y'all gonna beat Philadelphia, but it's gonna be in 7 games.
Oh, I really hope you're wrong. Tyrese Maxey, I hope he has a rough night tonight, doesn't get the proper sleep or something.
Something else.
Yeah. I'm just saying, not nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he stubs his dominant foot toe going to the bathroom tonight or something.
So what's
like
your injury on him though? Minor.
oh, just some regular life, just some regular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he is the key to them beating.
He was my underdog for them all season, and I feel like he's the key because Harden is so inconsistent. So,
well, I think Harden, I think he done hit his last leg, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he downhill.
But speaking of hurt,
his average speed of play has gone from 19 miles an hour to 16.
What you say, Bo?
So he's slow.
I said, speaking of being hurt and stuff like that, I wanted us to touch on a different topic, if you don't mind, Drew. There's been a lot of talk about the dirty play going on in the Grizzly Warriors game. Grizzlies are actually up right now, 40-31 in the second half. I want to know what y'all thought. The last play between Jordan Poole and John Morant, when they double teamed him at half court, do y'all think that play was dirty? Do you think Poole purposely tried to twist his knee in the opposite direction?
I'm gonna let you go first, man. I want to see what you say.
I watched it and I watched it again, and then I watched it from like different angles. And I tried to remember how I played basketball growing up, and I was just like, it's one thing if he might have swiped at the knee and hit it, because fighting for the ball is fighting for the ball. Stuff happened. But to grip, like he gripped the brother's knee. So it was like, it's real. It's hard to defend. I'm not gonna say that it was malicious, but it's hard. It's hard to be like, nah. He didn't, you know what I mean?
Me and Carson was going back and forth for like an hour via text message about this.
I'm sure of that.
And he's like, the evidence speaks for itself. To me, the play happened fast. You could slow anything down. And I sent him a clip where there was a play where Ja was guarding Klay Thompson, or I think it was Steph, and it looked like he kneed him on purpose in slow-mo, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying? I think they trapped Ja and he was reaching for the ball and it happened like that. Now, if it was somebody that, like a Zaza Pachulia, that did something like that, I would have been like, okay, that dude meant to go in and do that to his knee. But Jordan Poole, man, I don't think he's got the guts to do something like that, to go out there and like in the trap within those seconds, I'm gonna pull his hip this way and rip his kneecap. You try to get the ball. Like, I don't think that's how it went down. I think it looks bad, but when you reaching for the ball and you trying to keep somebody in between y'all, your hands are going everywhere. Like, I think it just looks bad.
Bro, when you're reaching for the ball and you're trying to knock the ball out somebody's hand, you're not going to hit somebody's body part, grab, and then pull. You're trying to reach for the ball. You're trying to hit the ball. I've never seen somebody try to reach for the ball, hit the ball, and they end up grabbing somebody's body and then grabbing and pulling, trying to steal the ball. I've never seen it except for this play right here.
Well, Draymond, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Even Draymond ain't never done nothing like that before.
Draymond out here, he out here hog time. People on accident.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna stand up for Poole, man. I don't think he did it on purpose. I think it looks bad though. I'll give y'all that. I don't think it was a dirty play.
They're gonna call it. That's what they're gonna call it now when you grab a brother's knee. The Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole. He literally pulled his knee.
Yeah,
I told Carson, I said he was trying to help the brother stretch, man. You know.
yeah, he helped him stretch, all right.
Stretch team out the playoffs.
He out for the playoffs. So he had to pull that knee pretty hard, bro, to put him out for the playoffs, for the rest of the playoffs.
Is he out the rest of the play? He ain't playing right now?
No, they said that he's out for the rest of the playoffs. So even if they win this series, he's out.
Damn. They play better without him anyway.
I'd still rather watch him.
Yeah, you right.
Yeah, that dude's the truth, man. He made me a believer this year.
Yeah. I love his attitude too, though, man. Because he just be like, look, I'm for my city, I'm for my team. If you're not, then we beefing. You know what I'm saying? And he's not afraid to speak his mind in the media. He's not all, I hate to use the term whitewashed, you know. He said he calls it as he sees it. Say that again.
I said that brings up an interesting point, though. Which do you think is more important, the player or the coach?
Woo-hoo. Me and Cornell been having this argument for years, man.
I say the coach.
To me, without the players, you don't have a team. Like, you get the best coach in the world. If them players decide they're not playing for him, they're not going to listen to him. Case in point, the Boston situation. Same set of players. They all decided they ain't coaching for, what's the name? The dude that went to the front office right now?
Brad Stevens.
Yeah. They're like, we're keeping our core. We don't want to play for you. Basically is what happened.
This is the same man that done took them to the playoffs and had them almost in the finals.
But they can't break. They can't break through. They don't like his style of play.
But they changed. So then they changed the coach. They didn't change. They didn't change no players. They changed the coach.
But why did they change the coach?
Because the coach wasn't getting the job done.
No, because the players weren't listening to him no more.
Bro, if the team was not playing good,
I feel like we talk about the same problem.
Look, my point is this.
Okay, so let me hold on, Bolo. Let me ask you this, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're a Golden State Warriors fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all was good with Mark Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the very next year, you changed coaches and went to Steve Kerr. And what happened? Y'all won the championship.
But I still don't think it was because of Steve Kerr.
What was the only thing that changed?
To me, they didn't give Mark Jackson enough time.
Look, and again, I'm not saying Mark Jackson's not a good coach. But at the time, with that team, with Golden State, he could not get them over the hump. Could it have been the style of play?
Mark Jackson is also a reverend, and I'm pretty sure that he was trying to get like every Sunday off, and it wasn't working. I feel like there was more to that than just that. You know what I'm saying? But
you have a point. But my point is this.
He couldn't get the job done because he did have other, So yeah, it still applies.
My point is it's 50-50. Like, yes, the coach does his job, but if the players decide at any moment, like there's times where, and we'll take it to football, where the coach will call a play and the players will get out there and be like, nah, scrap that. We running this instead. Yeah. Kobe's done it plenty of times.
They give players the authority to change plays.
And sometimes they don't give them the authority and they still change the play. How many times we don't heard LeBron do that?
Well, Shanahan is one of those coaches who calls offensive plays, who does not like for his plays to be changed because he calls certain plays to set up other plays later on in football. So, and people think Shanahan is an offensive genius. And when Shanahan was with the Falcons, we had one of the best offenses to ever play in the game. Shanahan left. So then they tried to bring another coach to coach that same scheme, and we was not as successful. So, of course, it takes you to have good players, but I've seen teams win with less talent, but because the coaching was great, he got the most out of that talent, and they was end up being a good team. Now, there's no way that you can tell me that Boston, Detroit was better teams than when they beat the Lakers. Right? But it was coaching. It was better. It's better coaching.
I can't agree with you, bro.
Well, hold on. When they swept them Lakers, man, that was a bad team. Once they picked up Rasheed Wallace, that really did change.
They was a very good team, but it's because who was they? Was it Larry Brown? That was
I
deep,
think it was because that was before Flip.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he had, and it's just like Eric Spoelstra with Miami. You know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
gonna say that. Drew, I'm gonna ask this question. If they get rid of all the key players in Miami and it's just Eric Spoelstra, do they still make it to the finals against the Lakers that year?
I'm biased, but I'm gonna say
They get rid of Butler. They get rid of
Hold on,
Adebayo.
Drew, I'm gonna
well,
say this real
Jimmy
quick.
the Heart, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm trying to say, man, you
No,
can't
Drew,
well,
to the coach.
Drew, I'm gonna say this right because there was one year when it was back in the day when Miami had, I think it was Wade and Shaq,
okay.
and Pat Riley took over coaching, and they were struggling that year. When Pat Riley took over, they went on to win the championship. That I want to say it was that same year, correct?
Yeah, but like that's the other thing. He's talking about like Kobe, LeBron. We're bringing up Pat Riley, where we're literally talking about like some of the greatest people to ever coach or play.
Yeah.
Like, you know, see it like I was thinking more just like in general, but I mean, yeah,
Well, hell, you can look at
I'm
Milwaukee's
also,
coach.
yeah, I don't like Bud. I think he
Okay.
deserves the respect.
Let me ask this
but
question,
I
Cornell.
don't
He
like
he
Bud.
he changed it up for Milwaukee.
Let me ask this question, Cornell. The
Yeah.
one year that Nowitzki won the championship, that they beat Miami
Yeah.
in the Mavs, was it the coach or the players?
To me, it was coaching, and it was coaching because of look. That was the first. That was the first year that Miami
Who
actually
was the
played.
coach?
Like the group actually played together. That was the first year they had Dwayne Wade, Bosh, and LeBron.
Who was
And
the
no
coach?
bench. I loved it.
Huh?
Who was
We
the
had no
coach?
bench.
I want to say it wasn't Eric Spoelstra
No,
Yeah,
no,
we
I'm
had
talking about the Mavs.
with the Mavs.
Mm-hmm. You can't even remember his name.
It was and he's.
That's
I
my
think he's
point.
still coaching. And what was it? It was, shit.
Yeah, it should be Rick Carlisle.
That's it. That's who it was.
Okay, I was about to say
That's who it was. Rick Carlisle.
It should be Rick Carlisle. But we lost that series because we didn't have a bench. Also, there was a game where Dirk Nowitzki hit 21 of 21 free throws, and literally him, Peja, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, they had and JJ Barea, they had the best 3-point shooting like run of any finals.
Well, Dallas was a deeper squad than y'all, so they could.
Bro, we
Dallas
was starting
could.
Joel Anthony. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
Yeah,
But we
but
made it, and we weren't even supposed to make it, and we made it. But I feel like LeBron getting in his head, I guess his headband was too tight, and he just forgot, how to play. But
I'm not a LeBron fan, so
I'm not anymore. So
yeah. I used to support him, but
I still support the brother. He do amazing
I don't
stuff.
support him. Once that Joker started having to build a super team and win a championship every time he get on the team, then I just lost respect for him.
I mean, but the teams do it.
Who?
The teams do it. The GMs, the owners, they do it all
They
day long.
started doing it because of LeBron.
They started doing it because of the Celtics.
The Celtics.
Well, the
did it
Celtics,
first.
they traded for one. So when I
It don't
say
matter
super,
how you do it. It's
so when
still
I say
done.
super team, I'm talking about you got players that say, you know what, I'm a
Garnett,
free agent,
Pierce,
huh?
Ray Allen.
Yeah. When I say they free agents, talking about okay, let's go and play together. We're gonna build this super team.
Doesn't matter how it comes together.
Boston
super
already
team.
had Paul Pierce. I think they traded for Kevin Garnett, right?
My guy, it doesn't matter how it comes together. It's still a super team.
I don't respect.
That's how ours came to be because the Celtics had already did it and we had to do something.
Yeah.
No, that ain't no. LeBron had got with Dwayne Wade, and this is the crazy part about it. The Celtics had 3 good players, but it was all almost at the tail end of their prime. They was at the tail end of their careers. Y'all got guys that's still in their prime, and LeBron, Kevin Bosh, and Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne Wade might have been somewhat at the tail end of his career, but y'all they had older guys that say, "All right, come on, let's get together. We're gonna try to win a super championship." But they traded for Kevin Garnett and they signed Ray Allen. it wasn't like they had 3 free agents that say, okay, we're gonna get together and join a team and become a super team. And LeBron has done that everywhere he's went since he left to go to Miami. Every place he went, he tried to build a super team.
LeBron tries to build championships. He has a historic 4-year, you know, he goes to a team for 4 years, does whatever, bleeds him dry, and it bounces. This would be his bounce year for the Lakers, but I don't think he's going to bounce. I think COVID kind of, even though that's the year they won, I feel like that kind of is going to keep him here.
Well, they say he's just waiting on his son. He wants to play, I guess, a year.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. But also, unbeknownst to us, it was late in Chris Bosh's career and in Dwayne Wade's because he was
at the end of Chris Bosh's career.
Because unfortunately, just because of the blood clots. So, like, yeah, he was in his prime when it happened.
Man, y'all got that man in his prime. And then LeBron got that man. LeBron had that man go from being an all-star, damn top 5 player in the NBA to me being
that's what I'm saying. If Chris Bosh
mediocre.
would have been healthy, bro, if Chris Bosh would have been healthy, oh, my God, we actually could have still did it. And that's why I'm mad at Dwayne Wade, too, for leaving, trying to chase LeBron.
I ain't going to say hate to cut into y'all conversation like this, but we could probably go all day. We got to pay some bills. Let's talk about our sponsors a little bit. You ready, Drew?
Big facts, big facts. You already know. Our sponsor.
Oh, give me 1 second, sir.
Oh, shit, hold on. I like this graphic. All right. Gold Standard Farms, Martin, Tennessee, since 1941. They want you to know something. Who they is, who we are is Gold Standard Farms, LLC, is a boutique hemp farm specializing in organic hemp cultivation, seed genetics, R&D, and eco-friendly hemp-based materials. Gold Standard Farms. And for more information, please contact Mr. Carson Owens.
Carson at goldstandardfarms.com. Thank you. So who are we taking to church today, Drew?
Whew. We've preached for a number of weeks now along this same line. To be honest, I originated this segment to try to highlight other sports analysts who actually get paid to do this for their bad takes, but it's kind of turned into kind of a culture segment as well. And unfortunately, the congregation is going to have to deal with this one. Young Thug, aka Thugger, Gunna, also known as Wanna, and the entirety of YSL, including the dog that happened to be in their group photo, was confiscated under the RICO Act. These guys gonna be facing a lot of charges, man. Normally they don't come in with the RICO neither, unless they got you. They've been watching you a while, and it's gonna be real tough. This kind of brings up the issue that we've always talked about, man. Like, if you do want to legitimize what you do, we gotta step out. You know what I'm saying? We can't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You have to be all the way out, man. You can't get it both ways and expect it not to catch up to you, man. And especially when you big figures like this, man. And it really sucks that we continue to have our champions, and our kings falling like this over these just what's the point, man? Y'all, something like Gunna probably got the hottest song out right now. You know what I'm saying? Pushing P. Everybody pushing P. People don't even know. People come to me every day. What's pushing P? Can you tell me what P is? But they singing it. They don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And you got the hottest song in the country, but you about to get RICO. That's crazy. Like, priorities, man.
I heard it ain't over.
You got to learn, like.
Well, I'm always an advocate of, innocent until proven guilty.
Of course.
I think the prosecutor is reaching a little bit, for to at least win the court of public opinion by mentioning that they rented a car in 2014 and the car was involved in a murder. And like, the person already went to jail for that and has been released since then, apparently, is what the reports are saying. So I hope these brothers didn't do what they said. I hope their lawyers are smart enough to get them off. But I also hope that people in the rap game or people who are in that limelight learn from this situation and don't be rapping about crimes that you committed that you can still get prosecuted for. And, or, you know, if they did do something, you wouldn't be stupid enough to put it in a song, because the prosecutor basically said, we watch their social media, we listen to their songs, and even though they got the First Amendment freedom of speech, we will use it against you in court.
Yeah.
So
Believe it or not,
The
I
right
got
to
a
remain silent.
right, and I got a friend
Like,
who works with the FBI, and he told me that a lot of times these cats snitching on themselves
yeah.
by the what they saying in their rap songs, the videos that they put out. They like he said, they're using social media to catch these cats.
that's
So
crazy.
yeah, but you know it's not stopping with Young Thug though. They saying
Yeah.
Lil Baby next.
Damn.
Oh no.
So
Yeah, he probably the hottest new out, period. So
yeah,
it's like, I mean, I guess that's kind of what I'm saying is like we was talking about investments earlier, and it becomes a risk tolerance and the drawdown of a stock. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's like what we can't do with our time and money and investment is leverage our freedom. You know what I'm saying? That's a risk that it's not worth it, man. It's
yeah,
just, you know what I'm saying? You're getting these millions to do, you know what I'm saying? Probably 100,000 less, at least 6 digits or less, but you got the 7, 8 figure, 9 figure deal. But you want to do the 5 to 6 figure crime.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, it doesn't, I
it doesn't
understand.
add up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I understand keep it, bro. Trust me. I understand thoroughly. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like keeping it real, but you can't, you got it. I've done one for them, for that. No, you got to go all the way out. You can't, it will get you. It'll make you hotter. That's kind of what's crazy. Cause it's like I said, I didn't learn that. I learned you stay quiet. So you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You can't be on stage and you know what I'm saying? Like you can't do both. So I don't know.
yeah. They
With that,
they go through the struggle to make it. You know what I'm saying? And then once they make it, now they don't want to leave the struggle. So
but with that said, man, Mr. Cornell Sims, man, thank you. We do have a segment called um shameless plug. Shameless plug. I almost forgot for a second. Is there anything you want to touch on before we end the episode?
you telling me?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh, my bad, bro.
You
I
can
thought I heard you say
you can shout out your website. I know you've been working on it.
a website. I'm still working on my website. I actually going a different format, but it's www.fly-clothing.com. I'm also on Instagram with First Love Yourself Clothing LLC. I'm on Facebook, same name, First Love Yourself Clothing LLC. Coming Up Together is on Facebook as well as Coming Up Together, as well as on Instagram. So if y'all need to, check me out, need to donate, whether your time, money, or materials, you can more than welcome to message me on that. And Bolahan, again, man, I appreciate you having me on here, man. I appreciate you, wanting to look out for a brother, man, and give me a little bit of exposure. So
I got you, man. I
It's
got
all
you.
about, bro. That's what it's
oh
all
yeah.
about.
And with that said, next week, I think we have Nkiruka Azuka. Looking forward to that conversation and stay tuned for more. Out we go.
Peace. I, Bolahan, I missed that music, bro. And